Alright, so I was working on this lawnmower. It was the 625 EX Briggs and Stratton engine on it. You can see there's the new plastic carburetor on it. And on this mower, I just kept having problems with it leaking constantly. And usually what I do, still has some gas in it there. I usually go straight for the float pin here. And on this one, I'd already replaced it. Here's the one that came out, and you can see on the tip of the pin, it's supposed to have that the little plastic tip on it. So when I popped it off and took a look at it, it was just, I was thinking, well, that's it for sure. So there's the new one with the plastic tip, if you can see that. And here's the one with it broken off. So I was thinking, okay, easy fix. Just popped it in there, popped everything back on, and it was still leaking. So what I found, and you can see how how the little rod here on these newer carburetors, they pop on and off there, right? On the older carburetors, it wasn't a pop on, you'd slide it in from the side, right? So one thing to watch for, let's see if you can get a good look at this. When I was moving it up and down, the little indent here had stretched open. So now when I push the float up, it's going to be hard to see. When I push the float up, the pin is actually pushing down. It's pushing out of it a little bit. So even with the new pin, I'll go ahead and put it all back together. Alright. So by popping this on and off multiple times, popping it in and out to clean whatever, it was deforming. It was deforming the plastic here. So even when I was pushing the float up where it should have been, I started to notice that it was actually moving down and out a bit. So it was never sealing. So really can't do a whole lot about it. I was thinking, well, if I, what if I could have epoxied it or something in, or or try to bend the plastic back into shape, but there's really nothing hardly holding the pin in. So I just had to replace the whole carburetor. So that was just a piece of the carb that it's not a replaceable piece. So just from that one little deal, I had to replace the entire carburetor. So just FYI, that's something you might want to look into. So there's another view of it. You can see even with it in, I'm still able to move the pin in and out. So that little bit of movement was keeping it from sealing. Otherwise, there's seems like it's operating normally, but if I let go of the pin, you can see it's shoving out. But that's it. So something to watch out for with these carburetors. So far that's really about the only negative thing I've run into with these carburetors. You know, a lot of people were thinking, the plastic, you know, blah blah blah. I was like, well, I don't mind the plastic, and I kind of like to see the use of these O-rings, more O-rings instead of gaskets. They seem to last longer. Usually you can, you know, pop it open and reuse them if you're having to go in and clean the carburetor out. This piece is actually, they seem prone to clog up really easily, so keep them clean, but they're really easy to clean out. You pop that out and clean it all. But so far carburetors have been okay, except for this one deal. That one little point here caused me to have to replace the whole carburetor. But oh well, just another thing to watch for.